Journey. So our journey starts from don't forget Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahe. It is not for chanting only, it is for becoming more and more aware, alert, and attentive in the journey of self discovery. Our journey is about moving from ignorance to wisdom. So, in order to move from ignorance to wisdom, we need what we need? We need the knowledge is in between, teacher is there, and the seeker is there. So we should have energy, we should have an aptitude, we should have a clarity, we should have an active participation, and we should not have any form of misunderstanding. The moment we have any misunderstanding, the world is suffering. Just go back. Go back to the first nine factors. But yes, check yourself. Are you changing? What it means by changing. Is your lifestyle changing? Is there any change in the lifestyle? What it means, the way we think, speak, and act and live in the world. You wake up in the morning and entire your perception of the world has changed. The perception of the people with whom you are living has changed. You perceive them differently. Previously, you were perceiving them out of ignorance, and now you are perceiving them with wisdom. So then what happens? Go on asking the question. We have to use our intellect. So the way we think, speak, act, and live in the world has changed. Thought is the main thing. Thought is the product of knowledge. Knowledge of the Eastern wisdom should change my behavior and attitude. No, no, if my son will change, then I will change. You have not learned anything. If my honey will change, then I will change. I have not changed at all. सुन रहे हो अशोक तुम्हारा वीडियो नहीं आ रहा I don't see the video of Brandy, Ashok, and Stephen. If I don't change, and I'm still expecting the entire world will change for me, I have not learned even a single lesson on the Eastern West. Now see that if I have changed, so my thought, my speech, and my action, my responses have changed. But where they have changed? With reference to the world. So if they have changed, it means I'm moving from ignorance to wisdom. That is the series. Put it logically. Put it logic. Oh, it means, it means, oh, yes, that means that I have changed. Yes, I have changed. Yes. Hmm, good. So what it means, now what it means the daily living. What it means by daily living. Anxiety is there. Now moving from ignorance to wisdom. I have a solution for anxiety. There is no stress. I'm fully busy. No, I'm always free. There is a sense of freedom. Why? There is no blame. There is no complaint. There is no reaction. Why? I have become a contributor to the world. Contributor to the world means what? Not a consumer to the world. So I have a tremendous change in my relationship to the world. That is the journey of Eastern wisdom. So it is not that, you are discovering real self and nothing is happening outside. A single change of perception in the inside you brings about a tremendous change in your relationship to the world. Think. It is not true. Let me know. So now world is an opportunity for me to evolve. If the world outside is a consumer for me, I am not going to evolve at all. Remember the equation. If it is a consumer, then that equation applies to me. And if it is a, if it, I'm a contributor, so the moment I'm a contributor, what happens? Now this word is an opportunity for me to evolve and help everyone to evolve. Because I've changed my behavior and attitude and responses. You are doing a great service to the world. You are already have started doing a great service to the world. To your honey, when you did not react, when you did not blame, you have already started a good service. Wait for some time. As you rise, becoming a higher level of a seeker, you will see its impact. So every day you don't miss an opportunity to evolve. That is the meaning of being a spiritual person. Oh, I'm a spiritual, I'm not religious. So you are escaping going to the church. That is why, and that also is a problem to you. Why you escape going to the church without understanding? First you understand, then make a decision. Oh, we have a big fashion, statement. I'm a spiritual person. I'm not a religious. And the person who is listening to you, he also has the same level of ignorance. Okay, very good, very good. I'm also a spiritual person. This is the meaning of a spiritual person. Now, when you are a spiritual, you have a natural impact on others, on the world, because the world lives in ignorance. Society is unconscious. Collective people live on unconscious. As an individual, you are contributing. That is the greatest charity you can offer. So when you're offering this charity, that will inspire others also to join the journey with you. That is why it is not happening. So you have to, now why I spoke about this, because you need to move into the world with the totally a new perception. Don't talk to the other people like as if you are passing on the news from the newspaper. If I pass on the news like a newspaper, you will say, better you rest at your home. I'm not going to attend your session. I can get all the news. So why this is happening? Because there is some doubt in me. And that is why we are continuing the journey. So the journey is ignorance to wisdom. I told you, hammering the delusion was the first in the series. And before that, we have a delusion leads to ignorance to suffering. Just remember the equation, and by that equation, prove that if that equation fits you, you are still a consumer of the world. Think, 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 think. I'm not asking, just believe it blindly. You should have because you change your lifestyle, you have changed your attitude, you already have a conviction, you have been attending this session. Why shouldn't you go to the world with that conviction and perception? So remember the first group. Word is suffering, foolishness, scattered mind, attachment, selfishness, intellectual paralysis, vicious circle. Word is suffering. That is what we discussed. So when they enter into my mind, now the world is suffering for me. Remedy is satsang. I told you satsang. Satsang means listening and learning. On one hand, there is a contemplation, reflection, and practice that continues. But what happens by the contemplation, reflection, and practice? Satsang that results into non attachment. First, non attachment to dispassion, dispassion to natural steadiness of the mind. And when you are in naturally steadiness of the mind, what it means? Make it simple. It simply means your mind is 100% available to you. You are not available to the mind. Did you understand? Say yes. Mind is 100% available to me. Means what? I close my eyes, I am into the state of meditation. Satsang. So there are two way. Inside, there is a change deeper inside. What change comes? Non-attachment, dispassion, natural steadiness of the mind, and it results into awakening. On outside, what you do? You listen and learn, repeat listening, contemplation, reflection, and practice. That is our second step. Second group. Third group, what happens? Now I feel the change in my perception, in my experiences, in my life, in my daily living. So I start living with that conviction. When I start living with that conviction, people around you will definitely see that you have changed a lot. What is this? Why? How come you have changed? No, no, I'm just attending this session. I'm learning the Eastern wisdom. I'm just going for a self-discovery. And then whatever you remember, you talk to them, it convinces. It convinces. And after the fourth one that we have, third is the realization. I tell you, this is, you get sense of emotional freedom. One example, I told you that simple example, your honey or anyone, anyone blames and complains you. Internally, you see that state of calmness. You deal that blame and complaint with that calmness. Realization. And then comes the fourth one. Fourth one, remembering, self-remembering. Now, this entire journey is summarized, but there are still challenges. So the master says you have to understand the 5 groups of practices. We have completed, we have just fairly understood pranayama. You have done, you can say that pranayama, you have done the masters in pranayama. But now we have to do the PhD in pranayama. That I will take up later, step by step. And then the second is pratyahara. We have done the pratyahara. Do you remember? Inward focus of the mind, SDU, Dhamma. I have to use in withdrawing the mind inside. It is a passive state by understanding. Dhamma. Dhamma is using the willpower. Using the willpower. Phone is buzzing. No, I will not pick up until I complete what I'm doing. No, but there is an urgent phone. There is nothing urgent in this world, except there is an urgency for the self discovery. There is nothing urgent in the world, I can tell you. There is nothing urgent in the world except peace and happiness. And the U means uparati. Uparati means that, oh, can I experience that at this particular moment I am beyond RTT? Do you remember RTT? All 3 groups of pleasures. The world offers the 3 groups of pleasures. One is sensual pleasure. Third is the pleasure from the food, that is known as the tripti. And the third is known as the tushti, that I have enough pleasure. Why I have pleasure? Because of lot of possessions I have. Lot of possessions. And I possess those things which are stinking in the garage, but I don't have an idea even to spare those things so that others can use it. Oh, it's a pleasure of possession. Do you see that? So, why I have been talking about this? So, we have done pranayama, pratyahara. The third group of practices, known as, this is the entire discussion that I have had just now. It is the process of viveka. The third group of the practice is viveka. Viveka means discernment. Discernment is more an intellectual and a mental practice. Now people say, I don't have time to practice. You can do practice anytime, anywhere. The third practice is the viveka and the discernment. So we will talk. I've been talking about it. Many people, you understand, but we have to uh, understand at least there are 15 different steps of viveka. And as you progress into doing this viveka, discernment, you rise in awareness. And then living in a moment is just play and a fun for you. When you rise in that power of discernment, it is basically an intellectual and mental practice. It is done internally by thinking in the beginning. I think in the beginning. And then non-verbally. What do you mean by it? So discernment in Sanskrit is known as viveka. Viveka simply means to separate. So it means what to separate? There is a mixture, so I have to separate. Huh? We separate the black beans from the rice. How do you separate it? Physical level. So I know the physical properties of the black beans. It is black in color, rice is white in color, the size, and so we separate. This is also known as viveka at the material level. Then you separate milk from the water. It's a complex process. But now I have to separate real from the unreal. So the earlier are two metaphors to make us understand what is viveka. But I told you, metaphor is not 100% equal to the main principle. Why I said so? Why? Make things clear. Because, now see, I give you an example. There is a clay pot. Clay pot is made up of clay. Right? Is clay clay pot or clay pot is clay? Which one is true? Clay pot is clay. Clay is not clay pot. By clay, you can make anything. So here I have to do the discernment. So once I do the discernment, even though there is a mixture, clay pot and the clay, and when I do the discernment, which one is real, only the clay is real, clay pot does not exist. It simply appears. No, clay pot is there. I drink tea and coffee in there. Can you show me the clay pot in that clay anywhere? In the clay pot, you point anywhere, it is only clay. So why I said metaphor is not exactly equal to the principle. It means there is a mixture of clay pot and clay, There is a mixture of real and the unreal. When I discern, I realize the unreal do not exist. Ignorance does not exist. So what exists is the real self, is the peace and happiness. That is the secret of discernment. That is why the entire journey of discovery in Eastern wisdom is done with the, because there is always a mixture. Where is the mixture? Are we all wakers at this time? Are we awake? You are listening and I'm talking. So we are in a waker stage. So can you tell me, am I a waker or not? There is a mixture. I am plus waker. If I am a waker, then where I am asleep, I am not a sleeper. I am not a dreamer. Very subtle. I'm just giving you a glimpse of it. And I will have a couple of sessions on discernment so that you will understand what exactly is the discernment. Here and now, we go to that subtler level where I become aware. Where is the speaker? So the speaker is separated from the consciousness, from the real self. You see, I started with a mixture of black beans and the rice. You separate. Oh, I have understood. So rice and the black beans both have physical entities. They both exist. So it's very easy to know the properties of each one and separate them. A little complex, water in the milk. Again, we know the chemical properties and the physical properties of the both. What about the mixture of clay pot in the clay, waker in the real self, sleeper in the real self? Oh, do you understand? Now, do you understand where the discernment will take you to? Third group of practice. Oh, dream. So here, when we discern in the journey of self-discovery, it means I have to separate the mixture between the false I and the real I. Now, when I say it is a false I, the moment I separate, the false I does not exist. Clay pot does not exist. It is all clay. Are you getting it? Very subtle, but very interesting, journey. The water exists, the wave does not exist. Why? Wave is water. But is water wave? Think of it. So we need that level of perception, Whereas water does not exist. Sun in the sand, sunlight in the sand. See that? So that is why it is a journey of Eastern wisdom. It is a journey of ignorance to wisdom. We have to understand discernment in a very different way, not separating the mixture. Yes, to understand it, it is okay. Black beans and the rice, we can separate. So it's an understanding. So intellect understands. Oh, you're right. So I have to separate. So I told you there is a false I and there is a real I. Separate it. Do you see that? Separate it. The way you have separated black beans from the rice. So now you separate false I from the real I. So what is the difference and what is the similarity? Similarity is that there is a mixture and we have to separate. What is the difference? You can separate physically from black beans from the rice, but you cannot separate your body from the real self. You have to do it intellectually. You have to do it mentally. Mentally, at the level of your perception, at the level of your knowledge. Do you see that? So there is a difference and there is a similarities. So that is how our masters teach us, guide us. Ah, understand this. Discernment is a very, you see that in modern science. Something is totally unknown. Newton, apple fell on the ground. So he has only one question: why apple fell on the ground? Why it did not go up? So when there is something unknown and you do the research, it's a normal research. You create a protocol. You have certain variables. In modern science, you have variables, changing variables, and you do an experiment and you apply the statistics and you have a result. That is known as the normal research, normal inquiry, simple inquiry. That is what the science does. We do. Now, what is the difference between self-discovery and, or you can say self-research? Self-discovery has to be done by the discernment. You don't need that discernment in a normal inquiry. Why? There is no mixture. Everything is unknown. But where is the mixture here? I have a wrong notion that I'm the body, I'm the mind, I'm the husband, I'm the wife, I'm the CEO, I'm the rich, I'm the poor. There's so much of mixture. I'm stressed. I'm happy. I'm unhappy. You see, there is a lot of mixture. Are you getting it? Scientific research, one-way street, self-discovery has to be done with the discernment. Can you be grateful to those great masters who have coined and who have understood the journey of the self-discovery? Now compare the scientific research with this. There is no mixture. In the normal, the thing is unknown. But here there is a lot of mixture. I'm a teacher. That too is ignorance. You are a seeker. That too is ignorance at a very higher level. There is only real self. Stephen, he has been talking of discernment, so now I'm opening the subject in a different way. Understand that scientific research, which we say, it's a normal research. You just create a protocol and research protocol because everything is unknown. Apple fell on the ground, so he did not know. Or the apple fell only on the ground. No. Sometimes it also goes up. Then there is a mixture. Then I have to apply discernment. This is very scientific, so I thought better to use that scientific way to make you understand this. So this self-discovery is always done with the discernment. Why there is a discernment? I have hundreds of wrong notions. Clay pot is different from the clay. I have a wrong notion. Wave is different from the water. Wrong notion. See that? So hence we have to use the word this discernment. And I told you there are 15 different steps of discernment. The time has come that I should talk about it. You have been with me for years together. It's very important to understand now. We are in the master's discipline to understand. One thing more. So normally when we do the discernment, you just every day. One way of discernment is that you do the discernment in everyday life, in activity, in active life. It's okay. But the real discernment is done You sit comfortably, being comfortable and being carefree. These are the two steps very important in discernment. Then you find out there is a fairly natural steadiness of the mind. In that natural steadiness of the mind, now, in that natural steadiness of the mind, you pick up one mixture. Am I the body or something else? And then your eyes are closed and you are constantly thinking and chain of thoughts. You are not distracted. No, I have a pain. No, you are not distracted. I'm the body or I'm not. Otherwise, if you have a pain, then your mind has already left the discernment. You know what happens? You'll be surprised. And I don't say that you'll be amazed. Just that sense of anxiety, that unease, that stress, that reaction, that duality, that conflict drops by itself. And you see, oh, just by discernment, it has dropped. It is so powerful. Yes, you have to believe me. I will just continue the sessions and I'll tell you. It is so powerful because you have already separated the mixture. The clay part is anxiety, duality, conflict. And once I recognize, it's all clay, it is gone. The way you have a dream tiger is chasing you, you are a dreamer. So you are a dreamer and the dream tiger is chasing you. You wake up. The dreamer and the fear of the dreamer and the tiger all dissolves in a waking state, in a waker, where it has gone. The same way the ignorance and the suffering also drops. That is the power of discernment. That is our third practice as suggested by our masters. So we will continue our journey with this in couple of sessions so that you understand what exactly is the discernment, what is the power of discernment, why to apply it, how to apply it, the very process. We will go through it. Close your eyes. Eyes are closed and place, position, and posture, my friends. Place, position, and posture. Being comfortable and being carefree. You're spending it's better to spend some time that you are comfortable and carefree. Here also the discernment is applied. We will talk about that. But see if you can apply. I will appreciate it being carefree. And then what? Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. We are in the stage one. It is totally passive. And at every step there is a very subtler level of discernment. Every time, whatever you talk, you add that. This is what the practice is. Yes, because we are evolving. May there be happiness for all. I'm not going there. Do you have a chain of the thoughts that proves? Yes. Happiness is our essential nature. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. May there be peace for all. Is your mind thinking of the next agenda in your list today, or it is still focused on may there be peace for all? That you have to understand. What I said, second satsang. What is the final stage before awakening? Natural steadiness of the mind. Who checks this? Viveka. You see that and sarvesham purnam bhavatu, sarvesham purnam bhavatu, sarvesham purnam bhavatu. May there be completeness for all. By saying this, you are emotionally charged. Oh, wow, I'm complete in myself. I'm whole. I cannot be divided into parts. And what is divided into parts is not me, is a discernment. You see, body, breath, mind, intellect, ego, thought, feeling, emotions, anxiety, duality, conflict, all are in parts except me. Hmm. We'll go there. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. May there be auspiciousness for all. Auspiciousness for all, my goodness. I'm in the stage of auspiciousness, in the state of auspiciousness all the time. But no, not all the time. But why? Lack of, whether you say lack of awareness at a very higher level and lack of discernment when we are a seeker. Oh, that is what you are talking about it. But if you take it intellectually, you do not pursue the path, then you will miss the journey. What a, you see the beauty of the self discovery with discernment. And now, in the second stage of the practice, we come to the active steps. Oh, pranayama, pratyahara, and other. There are many practices, japa, and we will move each one of them into a passive state. What is passive state? Where knowledge is 99% and practice is 1%. But at present, no. So you are looking inside the forehead in the space. And there you start dropping Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. So you look at it. You are aware of the body, stillness in the body. You are aware of the space. Further uh, making it subtler. And then you are dropping Om Shanti into the space. And then you add one more thing. And what is that? You start breathing quick and fast into the chest through both the nostrils. Start breathing quick and fast into the chest from, yes, and you feel there is another level of awareness as the expansion and the contraction of the chest continues. Your breathing is smooth, means it is rhythmic, even the quick and gentle fast breath. Om Shanti continues in the background and the stillness continues in the body. Continue, please. Continue breathing into the rib cage. You experience the expansion, contraction. The rest of the body is steady, and you're dropping Om Shanti deep inside the space into the forehead. Continue, my friends. Continue. It is the discernment, the power of discernment that prevents your mind to resist. Instead of endurance, now it is the power of discernment. Can you see that? And stop this. Pay attention to the flow of the breath. Whichever flow is less, pay more attention. That is just a metaphor again. When I say pay attention little more to whichever is the less flow. Basically, you are paying attention to both the flow, without which you cannot discern Which flow is less or more? Oh, you're just paying attention to the flow of the breath. In that also becomes a pratyahara because there is an inward natural focus of the mind. So don't say simply paying attention on the breath is mindfulness. It is just the beginning. It is a pratyahara, it's a withdrawal. It helps, it gives you relaxation and calmness, which we mistakenly, by mistake, claims that it is the state of mindfulness. The flow of the breath. Now looking again inside the forehead in the space, dropping Om Shanti, stillness in the body. And now we will use the third breath. Long, deep in the hissing breath. First you inhale into the belly, then continue into the chest. Breathe out from the belly and the chest. Very long, deep in the hissing breath. It is just opposite of the nyasa, where we breathe deep, silent, and slow. So here is a very deeper breath. You and you exhale first from the belly. You squeeze the belly and the chest during exhalation. You inflate belly and the chest during inhalation, but continue dropping the arms. It's a damn difficult, challenging, because the mind says I can pay attention only to one thing at a time. And that is where I have to understand. Once I can do the Om Shanti with the deep, long, and the hissing breath, that will awaken me to the power of. Then we use the knowledge to awaken the power of discernment. Continued, long, deep in the hissing breath. Om Shanti also continues. Stillness in the body also continues. As much as you can fill the air into the belly and the lungs. And again, it's a metaphorical. Basically, you fill the air into your lungs. Lower lobes of the lungs, belly expands. Upper lobes of the lungs, chest expands. Continue. Continue long, deep in the hissing breath. There is a resistance. You all are seekers, my friends, now. So if there is a resistance, you endure it. Your intellect says, no, I will do it. I'm doing it. I will have to do it. And then you return to the rhythm again. I know the mind has to break the rhythm. So we understand how much impurity of the mind is still there. Sometimes we stop. No, you need not to stop. You continue doing it. Continue deep, long, hissing breath into the belly and the rib cage, from the belly and the rib cage. Long, deep, and the hissing breath. Here the challenge comes, and you endure it to move to the joy of doing and then the joy of being. Well, you see that you can pick up any stage where you are, you understand. Beauty of the journey with me is that you have a conscious understanding of each and every step. And stop this, pay attention to the flow of the breath in the state of stillness in the body. You have a variety of experiences, maybe the infinite space, a sense of bodilessness, tingling and the freezing of the body, coolness and heat. Everything is okay. You just let it be there. Your main awareness and attention is on the flow of the breath. Because the more you continue to have the attention on the flow of the breath, deeper the experiences will be. And now move your mind inside the cave of your heart. Visualize the triangle of any color pointing upward. And then dropping Om Shanti on each side, clockwise and anti clockwise, to check whether the mind is syncing with the mantra Om Shanti with the side of a triangle. You may have a vision of the color of a triangle, it's okay. No worries. And once you see the sync, see means you're aware of the sync, you experience a long, deep mentally pushing the mind deep into the cave of your heart. Mind seemingly stops. That is the moment you say Shanti, and then you are in a state of doing nothing. Let the knowledge reveal in you. Well, the mind breaks that natural steadiness. You return again. Do Shanti on the triangle. Find out. Sink. Return again. It is a state of doing nothing, means it is a state of being. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your Buddha palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences, bring the hands down, we'll share our experiences. How are you, Brandy?
I'm good, thank you. The gem during the lesson today for me was when you said nothing's urgent but our peace, because I find that, sometimes I'm putting things before that. And to answer your question, has your life changed? Yeah, I would say overall, but then there are still these times when I find that I'm like getting too involved with the world out here. So my meditation was really nice and deep today. Thank you.
Very good. Yeah. Pick up any word of wisdom and it is ready to bring about a change. Yes, I like it. You accept it. There is a lot of change to take place. How are you, Stephen?
Good, sir. Thank you. Um, it's really resonating with me the idea of that the world is suffering, and I say that because my struggle isn't necessarily always with me, but it's with everything outside of myself. Um, so embracing that the world is suffering and then applying everything that we're learning, I'm now noticing that I'm moving inside myself and being able to still observe and reflect and contemplate on the actions of others and then be able to self-reflect that way. That's has this acceleration of this understanding, and I've been able to move inside very quickly and be in meditation, whether I'm observing others or whether I'm just quiet by myself. And today's meditation was the breathing aspect was it was I have had moments of effortlessness, but it was just clean and fresh, the air and the flow that was going through. And then the profound moment was the triangle that it was so distinct, and that triangle just kept expanding. And I noticed um, glimpses of that triangle actually being larger than myself,
Yeah,
and that the flow of my breath and the Om Shanti around the outside of the triangle was as if it was going around the outside of myself. And it was just absolute, just peace and calm. So I thank you.
beautiful. Yes, moving inside. Yeah, that's a beautiful practice of meditation, is one thing. And second thing, the discernment says I have to remain focused on what is real and unreal when I'm interacting with the world. So I have already, in the state of discernment, of the state of the calmness in me, what others are than the world is doing, let it do. Let them do whatever they are. The world as such is definitely is a suffering. So the same thing I will also say, the moment I recognize that I have not changed to that level, as Brandy is saying, so that also should make me aware of there is no change at this moment. Let me change and express it. Let me change and express it. Let me drop it and express it. So wonderful. The more we use this power of discernment in relationship to the world, the life is definitely going to undergo a change, and it is happening. Beautiful. How are you, David and Jerry?
Thank you. Good morning. Yeah, extremely simple lesson, yet complex, powerful. And the word discernment is like this. That was the focus of my meditation. Is the word discernment. Kind of, you want to tattoo it on your forearm. It's like such a powerful word, such a powerful concept to use and bring to everyday life. My meditation, therefore, was very, very clean, very simple, very easy. So thank you.
Yeah, the moment we have an understanding of the discernment, the practice becomes very smooth, easy, and effective. So always think and contemplate about these two. I'm telling everyone. Scientific discovery, there is another level of discernment. But here, what we our discernment is between the real and unreal, between the ignorance and the wisdom. So once we apply that discernment all the time, in the beginning, by thinking, speaking, and acting, later on, it is purely a non-verbal perception, means it is pure consciousness. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, I'm good, thank you. The meditation, my mind was very focused on the breathing and the fact that my mind realizing that the second stage of the breathing, I really haven't completely accomplished that. And so my mind wanted to force that exhale out and get that sound that you're looking for and everything. And so I was very focused on that and the Om Shanti. And then when we finished that, I noticed the tension in the body, well, not of the body. So I let that go. And then we moved to the triangle and I was completely absorbed there.
Beautiful.
The discernment is really something that I try to apply every day in every way, starting with the thought, and then how do I express it through my voice and my action. And so I try to play with it and be very aware of it.
Yes, you're right. In the beginning, that third type of the breathing that we are going to practice, we have to do a lot of that breathing, both into the belly and the chest with the hissing sound. Definitely, you are right. In the beginning, there are a lot of discomfort, but gradually the mind adapts to it. And the moment the mind adapts to it, we are absorbed deeper within. What is very important that by thinking, I tell you that the moment someone is blaming you and your anger is rising, 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 can you apply the discernment by the thought? Is it worth? Is it worth? Is it worth? Let me remain calm. Ah, that Beale guy told me have a discernment. You're saying inside you. In the beginning, I have to use the thought, the way the Jerry is saying, right? And gradually it becomes non-verbal. Progressively, it becomes simply non-verbal. You need not to worry about it. It happens. But there are a lot of other things that I will be talking about in discernment. How are you, Dennis?
Thank you for the session. As far as my personal changes, yes, I do see a lot of changes in myself throughout the last years, especially when it comes to perception and expression. What happens is that the situations, the things, the people that cause certain reactions and certain ways of behavior unconsciously, now they just cause inner chuckle when I see what the mind wants to do and how the mind wants to react, and the reaction just does not happen. And this is probably the discernment that happens when I see that reaction is not the right way to go, and it just doesn't happen at that point. As far as the meditation, it was very peace and comfortable. What I noticed is that during the past breathing, now that today the mind was not so much concerned about synchronizing the breath with the mantra, but still sometimes sometimes it happened, sometimes it didn't happen. So sometimes it still tried to
Yeah, yeah.
go synchronization. But
That is
at the end, that it was a completely dark space and peace.
yes. It was a good practice. Remember what he said. I'm rephrasing it. Perception plus projection plus impression, and there the ignorance comes. I see you, just I see you. There is only a perception. I don't give any label to you at this moment. So deeper inside, you see that state of awareness cannot cognize by label, by gender. Oh, you are Brandy? No, I don't know. That level of awareness is there. So then there is a projection. Mind instantly projects gender and then the name. So now you have to discern between, does the mind have a perception? Yes. It has a projection, normal projection, which does not cause you any problem. Or gender by addressing by the name, no problem. What causes the projection and impression problem? My likes and dislikes. You see? That's there the discernment needs to be done. What I have to do with the likes and dislikes, it's okay. That is what Dennis is saying in a different way. So I need not to react. I believe you're getting it. Christina.
Thank you. Today, my meditation was deep. My triangle got really big last week and it stayed big, changed colors. And I noticed, I think I heard today that ignorance doesn't exist. So
Yeah.
that all that's left is peace and happiness. So it's almost like, I wanted to check in if that's right, that it's a delusion. It's another
It's
delusion.
Yeah.
All of those. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We will talk in detail. We will understand in detail ignorance, illusion, and delusion. These are the three words which has been detailed, very deeply discussed by our masters. So it is like when we say the ignorance does not exist with reference to the wisdom. When there is a light, there is no darkness. That is how we see. So darkness, then we explain the darkness is an absence of light. So does the darkness exist? We have to question it. We have to question it and understand it. So we will go deeper. How are you, Vaibhav?
Thank you, sir. The practice was calm. It's like that I have to work on myself continuously to improve myself in handling the delusion which is created by mind.
Yeah.
So the mind can remain calm and peaceful.
Yes. So once the intellect has a conviction that this is delusion one, and the delusion does not exist too. So now anxiety is a delusion and it does not exist. With a disclaimer, I have a different explanation. Some of the psychiatrists will challenge me. So I'm using with a disclaimer. Anxiety in a different sense. How are you, Ashok?
Sir, I am good, fine, and I understand that real and not real. I have to, I mean, discriminate in that, and I have to constantly working. We have to constantly working on that. So what is
Yeah.
real, what is not real. So that will create a, good sense and right direction. That.
Yes, yes. The entire journey of discernment is defined in the very beginning as separating the mixture that is real and the unreal. But before I go to discern the real and the unreal, I have to follow other 15 steps. I'll pick up a couple of the steps so that the mind can easily not only absorb it, but you can use it in your
Thank you.
daily life. Beautiful. How are you, Terry? You want to say?
Uh, I think the con- concepts are becoming very interesting, and they're
Yes.
all coming together. So
Yes.
I guess that's more closer to 360-degree
Yes.
understanding. But
Yes.
the physical things, like I think I just need to do more practice,
Yes.
And I really appreciated when you said it was damn difficult, because that was exactly what was happening at that moment. The breathing, I would begin to succeed
Yes.
or
Yes.
improve, and my hands would just start to contract and come up, and it was really distracting me.
Yeah.
So that's what I just worked on.
Hand is responsible for distraction.
I think
Oh, yes. Yes.
because it wasn't voluntary, it was involuntary. So yeah.
Yes. Yes. That is where you see that, I have a couple of thoughts, but what is most important, that the moment you said that I have to do the breathing, yes. So let's have that commitment. I have to do it. How, to what level you do it does not make a difference. But to have that commitment in the mind is going to change the mind.
Uh-huh.
That is very important, to have that commitment. And commitment comes because I have a level of endurance. So when I have a level of endurance, I live into the higher awareness. Whether one is doing the breathing for 5 minutes or whether one is doing the breathing for 15 minutes, doesn't make a difference. So we are not going into the science. Oh, you're doing 15 minutes of breathing. You are a great guy. No, no, no. We're not talking of that journey in the Eastern wisdom. Understand, these are the two different parallels. In science, it goes in a different way. In the Eastern wisdom, it goes a different way. Did I change even by breathing for 1 minute? Did I change my level of awareness? Done. And the other guy who has been breathing for 1 hour, he may have increased his capacity of the lungs, and oxygen concentration is goes up, and you can talk of the sports medicine. We are not going there. Our goal is to rise in awareness. Our goal is to find the real self. I know Terry is more, and you all are logical, so I'm just explaining. Our goal is not there to become uh, to hold the breath. No, 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 that's not our goal. Our goal is to find the real self.
Is that the Dhamma, the exercise?
Dhamma is using the willpower to withdraw the sense. My eyes are my eyes are looking at something where I get obsessed with it. So consciously, I withdraw my mind through the eyes. So I say, no, no, I'm not going to look at it. I'm looking at that object in the beginning. And then I become conscious. So when I become conscious, then I check that whether the sama is there. The mind is, I'm already aware the mind is inside. If it is not there, then it is a hypocrisy. But if it mind is already there and I have switched on, or the phone is buzzing and my mind is hesitating, oh, I have to pick up, I have to pick up, I have to pick up. No, I'm not picking up. So Dhamma means I'm using the willpower, first step. and then I become aware of the mind is inside. As the Stephen said something today. So I have to see that these two are there. So when these two are there, the third happens. I forget about the phone and the buzzing also. Phone is buzzing, phone is there, but I forget about it. The person is there who reacted to, who insulted me, but no, I'm not affected. Now I'm taking that example to a different level. So you live into that state of awareness. So that is the role of pratyahara. Pratyahara is a wonderful practice. I have divided into 3 steps. First is the inward focus of the mind is sama, is the natural. I'm just aware. Oh, let me look inside. And dhamma means I have to use the willpower. So I use the word fasting, phone fasting, media fasting, TV fasting. The person with whom you have to settle a score. So that person fasting. There's fasting. And then once these two applies, the third will come. What is that third will? Uparati. You go beyond the. That is all for today. Thank you very much. Be happy.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you.
sir.
Thank
Namaste.
you.
Namaste, everyone.
Namaste.